In front of the cabin, Mickey is smoking a cigarette and listening to music. When his disc jockey stops working, he calmly sits down and changes the battery so he can listen to music again. He decides to check inside the cabin, but suddenly his friend Ben comes out and tells him to run. There are roaring sounds coming from the house, and Ben fires a few shots, then runs away himself. It turns out that the zombie apocalypse happened a few months ago. Now Ben and Mickey are wandering the earth without a destination. Both are former baseball players, and Ben is very good at beating zombies with a bat. However, Mickey is not yet used to fighting. He takes whatever supplies he can find and rests wherever he sees a safe place, just trying to understand life. One day, Mickey scratches some lottery cards and is very happy when he finds out that he has won $1,000. However, Ben spoils his fun by telling him that the lottery no longer exists, then asks if he wants to play catch. Mickey is not very enthusiastic, but Ben reminds him that we should love baseball. The journey continues and the pair find another cabin in the woods. Ben first goes inside and checks that it is empty, then the two relax. There is nothing useful in the house, so Ben decides to go fishing for dinner. Mickey is careless and takes out all the canned fish from his bag, so Ben tells him to light a fire, but Mickey leaves with his headphones on. Later, Mickey finds the bodies of some zombies that Ben just killed and is terrified because he remembers that Ben said there would be no zombies in the woods. Ben corrects him that he said there would be few, and so far it has been true. After a few more miles of travel, the pair find an abandoned car. Ben opens the door and a zombie comes out. He immediately shoots him in the head. He then gets in the car and hates the smell. Luckily, the car is still running, so they use it to continue their journey. Now they can easily drive on the streets and see the scenery, although the radio is not working. One afternoon, Mickey misses his ex-girlfriend and convinces Ben to go to her house. Ben checks out the zombie while Mickey listens to his ex's music and smells her panties. He takes the panties and her perfume. In the garage, Ben finds some useful tools and a pair of walkie-talkies. Mickey also finds a toothbrush and is able to brush his teeth after a long time. Ben then modifies the back seat of the car to create an open space, which he fills with sheets and pillows. Mickey wants to stay in the house, but Ben refuses, so a fight breaks out. Ben recalls that he was trapped in a house for 3 months. When he ran out of food, he ate dog food and later ate the dog. Mickey's family also died trapped in the house at the beginning of the apocalypse. When Mickey insists on staying, Ben screams. The journey continues, and Mickey spends most of his time running away from reality with headphones on. When they find a field full of cows, Ben stops and pets them. They are very nice girls, so Ben smiles. After a while, Ben asks Mickey to play baseball, but Mickey doesn't listen because of the music. Ben jokes about turning into a zombie by startling him from behind, and Mickey gets scared. So Ben says that headphones will kill you. Then Mickey changes the batteries in the walkie-talkie and gives one to Ben to check the range. The devices are working fine, and while joking, they accidentally pick up the signal of another group of survivors. A woman, Annie, and a boy, Frank, are talking about camping, grocery shopping, and watching movies. After some hesitation, Mickey contacts them and asks if he and Ben can join the camp, promising to work hard. But they are told that there is no room at the camp and not to look for them. Frank tells them to stay away from that frequency and end the call. Mickey repeatedly asks for help, but to no avail. Ben doesn't care, and Mickey finally snaps. He rants about the situation, saying that he is tired of sleeping anywhere, hunting, and Ben's bad smell. But Ben laughs and says that the campers don't need us, so why worry? Over the next few days, Mickey tries to contact the camp on the radio, but there is no answer. Ben hears him saying Annie's name specifically and realizes that Mickey is having a crush on him by the sound of his voice. He teases her that he thinks she's a beautiful woman from an action movie, but in reality, she's probably an old woman. Mickey taunts Ben that he's the only person to gain weight in the apocalypse, but Ben doesn't get angry and says that he's the only one who knows you. Later, the pair stop at a motel, with Ben waiting in the car. While Mickey insists on checking the rooms to see if there are any survivors, as Ben said, a room is full of zombies, so Ben comes out and fights while Mickey hides as usual. Mickey complains that they could have walked. Ben doesn't need to kill every zombie. A fight breaks out, and Ben challenges Mickey to fight himself, reminding him that they killed your family. Mickey is still scared and doesn't move, so Ben does everything himself. Ben finds a waterfall in the forest and screams in excitement because he can finally take a shower. Mickey is sleeping in the car and suddenly sees a zombie on the window. First, he calls for help and grabs the walkie-talkie to call Ben, but he sees that the zombie is a very beautiful woman who is pressing her chest against the window, so Mickey starts to do mischief with his hands. When he is close to climax, the zombie's brain is blown out by a bullet. Ben is back and laughs like a madman when he sees it and goes to give his friends some privacy so he can finish it. The journey continues, and the pair find many empty houses in the forest. The car has to be abandoned because it runs out of gas. One day, they find a building with a very nice bedroom, so Mickey announces that they will stay here tonight because he wants to sleep in a real bed and will not refuse. Then, while unpacking, he sees that his headphones are missing. Mickey runs out and sees Ben listening to music by making arrows. When Mickey asks for the Discman back, Ben refuses and says that if he has to stay in a room where there is not much chance of escape, then he cannot be distracted. Ben is tired of fighting for both of them and wants Mickey to feel the truth. Mickey makes a face like a child and throws the arrow on the ground. During dinner, Ben makes fun of the zombie girl incident in the car, but Mickey ignores him and goes to the bedroom. He tries the walkie-talkie again, and to his surprise, Annie answers. She says, "I'll get in trouble for talking to you," and tells him that the camp is not as good as you think. Mickey insists that he still wants to go because it's better than sleeping in a tree. He also tells him that he and Ben didn't really know each other well. They were just on the team when the tragedy happened. Annie thinks Mickey is crying a lot and ends the call. Meanwhile, Ben is dancing, listening to music and drinking alcohol. Suddenly, he hears strange noises and goes to check. After solving the problem, he sees that Mickey is sleeping like a baby, and Ben, fed up with his carelessness, decides to play a prank. He puts the bat on the bed and goes to the forest, where he first checks the zombie he caught. Ben drags the zombie into Mickey's room and wakes him up by screaming, then closes the door. Mickey screams for help, but Ben says to learn self-defense. After much struggle, Mickey finally kills the zombie with the bat. Ben opens the door and boasts, but Mickey angrily pounces on his friend and throws a few punches before leaving. In the woods, Ben sees Mickey having a breakdown. Mickey tells Annie and Ben takes him back home. After washing, Ben tries to cheer him up with a baseball and funny sounds. He reminds her that Annie was just the sound of the radio. After that, Mickey pays more attention and helps with the work. He fishes and listens less to music so that he can talk to Ben. When they find an apple orchard, they eat a lot of apples and play baseball. Finally, they find 2 cars and try to put gas from one to the other. Mickey sees that the engine is hot, which means the driver must be nearby. Then yells, "Hello," but no one answers, so he starts to get gas. Suddenly, Jerry grabs Mickey from behind and demands the car keys with a knife, saying that he wants to go to Arizona. Then pulls out the gun and says he doesn't have the keys. He also doesn't believe Jerry would hurt Mickey. He says there's probably nothing in Arizona, and Jerry has no reason to. Jerry says a group made him work in the cold and promised to give him guns, gas, and food to go home in the spring, but they didn't keep their promise. He doesn't name the group. When Jerry threatens again, Ben puts down the gun and says the keys are in the car. Jerry lets go of Mickey and gets in the car, but Ben says the keys are in his pocket. Jerry curses and starts to run, but Ben chases him and shoots him. Mickey scolds Ben for killing a normal person, and Ben claims self-defense, so a fight breaks out. At that moment, another car arrives, and the woman's voice says she's just come to get her second car, and everyone agrees to be nice. The woman and her bodyguards fill up the tank of the abandoned car and ask about Jerry. then tells the whole story, and the woman says that you did it right because Jerry was a thief. As the strangers start to leave, Mickey finally recognizes the voice as Annie. Annie shoots Ben in the leg in response and scolds Mickey for not dropping the case. She takes Ben's keys and throws them in the middle of the field so they can't be chased. She says if they see them again, she will kill them both. After Annie and the bodyguards leave, Mickey looks for the keys but cannot find them. Ben is unable to help due to his injured leg. Anne says to rest now because it's getting dark. In the middle of the night, both wake up to a strange noise. When they turn on the lights, they see a crowd of zombies coming towards their car. Mickey wants to run away and gets out of the car, but Ben can't move because of his leg, so Mickey comes back. The next morning, they are still trapped in the car because the zombies are all around. Mickey tries to control himself by listening to music, but the sound can't be covered. Ben opens the sunroof and fires a gun, but he can't kill enough zombies and has to close the sunroof. Then, Mickey insists on hot wiring the car, but Ben says that he tried. It's not as easy as in the movies. Another fight starts, and Ben blames Mickey for the fact that Annie shot him. Several days pass, but zombies don't go away. Their roaring sounds are driving them both crazy, and they put sheets on the windows so that they don't see their faces. When the water runs out, they start saving their urine. With no hope for the future, they get drunk and play road games. Finally, it is decided that since Mickey has put them in this trouble, they will go out and find the keys. Once he musters the courage, Mickey gets out of the sunroof and looks for the keys in the field. After a while, Ben hears Mickey calling his name and quickly opens the sunroof. Unfortunately, Mickey tells him that he has been bitten, and the two break up. Mickey says that he is scared and what should he do, but Ben takes out a gun and tells him to get out of the car. When Mickey does not move and asks for a chance, Ben shoots him and screams in grief. Then, Ben sends a message to Annie blaming her for Mickey's death and threatening to kill her if he finds her. He survives in the car for several days and thinks how strange it is that he was stuck in the house for 3 months and now is stuck in the car. Finally, he gets fed up with this life and decides to try to survive outside. He puts on Mickey's headphones and walks down the street while a crowd of zombies follows him.